So what we are doing today is another basic aspect of practicing the mindfulness, but with the knowledge of Vedanta. So we are using the knowledge of Vedanta to practice the traditional Vipassana and mindfulness practice. Okay. So there are two aspects of this that slowly, I think, over a few sessions, I will introduce it. But the first important foundation of both of this, there are two main things. What we are doing is that we are focusing not so much on any object as such. What is the object in this practices is not like mantra or even the breath is not the main object, although we use that as a support. So all objects are just supports here. So then we may wonder, what is the real Vipassana practice? What is the real mindfulness practice? The real mindfulness practice is seeing that state of mind, the clear seeing of the mind. And here it's not so much consciousness yet. Seeing the state of the mind. Why do we need to do that? Like, especially if we are Vedanta students, we don't need all this, we may think. But no, see, the mind is what allows us to study. The mind is what allows us to contemplate. The mind is what allows us to meditate. So the hurdle of the mind, even in Vedanta, the chitta shuddhi, the hurdle of that mind is the biggest thing to cross over. So what is the biggest hurdle? Vipassana puts it in a very simple way. It says that the mind is constantly going through raga dvesha, likes and dislikes. So I like something, I don't like something. So this constant thing that is happening in the mind, that is keeping the mind outward, meaning it makes the mind look only at outward things. And it gives an outward reality. So what do we have to do? First thing is that this is the first step in the Vipassana practice, is that everything is an experience of the mind. This is all the experiences are experiences of the mind. This is the first thing that Vipassana wants us to see. Now here we are not philosophically discussing and trying to understand, oh, is this correct, is that wrong, and all that. This is just a practice. So here we just take it as it is, that the first thing is that whatever I see outward, I think I see outward, I experience outward. It's an experience of the mind. So what are we doing? We are turning constantly within. Everything we turn within. How do I feel? How do I experience this? What is my experience of this? It could be a simple thing. You're out in the traffic, you may say, oh, this is not good, that's not good. First thing is to see that I'm experiencing a dislike, an aversion. And you're having a wonderful cup of tea and enjoying the sunset and all that. So Vipassana doesn't indulge you there. It doesn't say, yeah, it's beautiful and all that. Vipassana says that, what is that experience in the mind? It's a pleasant experience in the mind. And every experience is anitya. Sarvaha dharmaha anityaha. This is all things are passing. So don't hold on to anything. Good and bad, you have to let go. This is the first thing that Vipassana is asking us to do. So here there are different techniques. I introduced some simple techniques last time, but go through again some of this. So the first thing is that what we have to do is that we have to see this likes and dislikes happening at three levels. I have mentioned this. There are three levels of mainly, of course, the Satipatthana Sutra says four, but mainly three things. And in that three, there are many different techniques, each of that. The three levels which we are watching first is at the level of body. Because every experience we have, it translates in some way in the body. This is also the big spiritual thing of or the psychological thing, of how the mind and body are related, right? So every experience produces a certain sensation in the body, or every physical thing produces something, some kind of equivalent in the mind. So now I'm going to give a small illustration here to help us explain the fundamental difference in mindfulness and meditation, because this is a big problem. People who come to mindfulness don't understand meditation, and people who come to meditation think that they already know mindfulness. So this is a big problem. So I have my favorite way of explaining this. This is the ball. Okay. So now, what we are doing generally in most yogic meditation, right, is we are using the ball, the uh, ball meaning any object. We are using some object. Now here I'm showing a ball. It could be like you can replace it with some idol, some image, even something like, if you're doing meditation on looking at some tree or the ocean or sky. So that's all object. That is the main idea, an object. But what happens usually when you are taught in meditation, even if it's an object, if it's a visual thing, a sound, or anything, how you're using the senses and you're experiencing it, you are made to make it look like something pleasant. So how do we make them pleasant? So this is the idea. So you focus on something which looks nice, which feels nice, which sounds nice, which is your Ishta Devata. Even if you're thinking of God, it has to be a pleasant God. It can't be a very fiery God. So this is the idea. You make the meditation in a very pleasant kind of experience. But this is still not Vipassana. Why this is not Vipassana is, as I mentioned last time, Vipassana means seeing things as they are. It is not like you are making something unpleasant into pleasant. That is the yogic way. Yoga tries to do that to some extent, or not just, can't even say yoga, because in a way Vipassana also is like a yoga. But maybe the best term would be to say that most meditation practitioners who are taught in the beginning stage are taught like this. And you take an object and you make it a pleasant object. That is the idea. So that is okay at that point. But now what happens is we have an active life to lead. Meaning not just that normal people. Everyone has have an active life. We walk, we talk, we as a Buddha says, and even in Bhagavad Gita, Shunvan, Pashyan, Gachan, you are listening, hearing, you are going to the bathroom, you're eating, all that is happening. Now, this is the beauty which is there, of course, in the Bhagavad Gita also, and in Buddha's teaching especially, that he said that the practice is not just when you're sitting, and the practice is also not just when it is pleasant. The practice is all the time. How do we make this a practice? And this is also the heart of really Vedanta also, that the real understanding that wisdom should come all the time. So how do we do this? So this is now we will this thing what we did with the ball. So now here I'll explain there is another faculty of the mind. This faculty is what we are going to use in Vipassana. Okay. So now how do we do this? I think my level here is not that. I'll just see if I can show. So until now, we were looking on a stationary object, right? So now what we are doing is that the ball is moving. Now, as the ball is moving, you are aware of that movement of the ball, right? You're able to see that the ball is moving, right? So now what happens, you may not be able to see it this clearly as you saw it before, right? Before you were able to watch it that clearly. Now it is moving. But now there is another thing that is allowing you to stay with the ball. This is not attention. This is not concentration. But yet there is something that allows you to stay with the ball. And it is a faculty of the mind. So this is the faculty that we're going to work with. As you keep watching the ball, what is this that is allowing you? We don't need to first even label that. There's some faculty of the mind that's allowing you to stay with the ball. Right? So this is now we have to become aware of, and this is that faculty that mindfulness uses. Okay, so for terminology, we can say that I use concentration to focus on the ball, and I use mindfulness to be aware of the movement of the ball. Okay, so this, or otherwise, another way people put it is attention and awareness. Now, when you focus intensely on something, it is just attention. But actually, the other one is also attention. But this is an attention where you're just having that awareness coming in. See, this awareness is there. One is it's aware of the object, but another is that it's awareness itself. There is an awareness, or there is what we call the mindfulness itself. That what is that mindfulness doing? Every time your mind goes away, it brings you back to the ball. So this we are also using in meditation. What we are doing in meditation, we are observing this, right? And then what happens? The mind will go somewhere else, and then we remember that I'm focusing on that my Ishta Devata or the object I like, and that reminder is bringing you back. That power which brings you back, that attention, that reminder that I need to bring my mind back. So the word is sati, which is in translated is right remembrance. The moment I remember, I bring back. So this is what actually people even in sports are doing. If you look at that moving ball, we say they're concentrating, but really they cannot concentrate so much on that ball. What they're doing is the ball is moving every time they're remembering, okay, bring that mind back on the ball, bring the mind back on the ball. So bringing the mind back on the ball again and again on this moving ball with careful chosen intention, that is the mindfulness. Okay, now here the mindfulness can come out of two things. One is out of practice. I want to do this, and by this I am convinced myself, because Buddha told this, Bhagavad Gita says this, we have practiced mindfulness again and again and again. So that alone is not adequate, and here is where Vedanta helps us. Vedanta tells us that the wisdom, that awareness, that natural awareness is my true nature. And by being in the true nature, I'm truly happy. So this wisdom again and again, and especially when we're done Shravanam, Mananam, it will help us more and more. So now, just again, today we will just do the simple part. What are we going to do? We are going to use physical movements like last time only, because until we get it properly, we will do it a couple of times. Physical movements, two kinds. One physical movement is a simple one. If you're keeping your hand like this, you move it back and forth. Or even one finger if you want. You can move it back and forth. Now, other way is moving of the body, like either this way or this way. You can experiment with both. So two fundamental points we'll remember as we practice this. Just for 10 minutes we'll practice. What is the fundamental point? One is I'm not so much interested in the physical movement itself. I'm trying to be aware. One is awareness of the movement. And second is that state of the mind. How is my state of the mind? If I cannot really get a proper understanding of the state of the mind, then just kind of feel that, am I feeling pleasant? Am I feeling unpleasant? Am I feeling neutral? Here we don't block anything. Thoughts will come. Other thoughts will come. Other feelings might come. Things I have to do, all that will come. At that point, what we are doing, we don't block it. We are just mindful using that body movement for now today. Just that body movement. Or like you can experiment. If you're tired doing this, then just move your fingers. Okay, and then do this. Can do it with closed eyes also. Later on, we'll do with open eyes. Or you can do with open eyes and close your eyes at some point. So this, each one can experiment. The idea is this. Idea here is you're not fixating the mind on the ball. Like you're not kind of trying to closely look and analyze that ball and get absorbed. You're becoming aware. Thoughts come, you become aware. Then check the mind. When feelings come, become aware, check the mind. If you say that, okay, I'm not feeling anything, then that is also a feeling. That feeling that you're not feeling anything is also an experience. See, this is where, as the mind becomes subtle, you'll catch that. Oh, this is also a neutral, you can say a neutral feeling. And in that neutral feeling is also like there's a positive neutral feeling and a boredom neutral feeling, a negative neutral. Okay. So these are all, so this is what the practice is. So, okay, we all do at our own pace. So we can start first with the movement of the body, whichever way, the straight or sideways or whatever. And as it is happening, you just be aware, you watch physically, watch mentally. So first is physical awareness that everyone has. Body is moving, everybody knows. Now, but what we are doing in mindfulness is we are bringing in a kind of mindful awareness where the mind is recognizing that I'm aware and what state of mind I'm aware in. Is this, see, that what we say like mental commentary, that mental commentary is nothing but that being mindfully aware that the feelings of likes and dislikes are happening. At some point, there may be even a resistance. The body, you might say, like, okay, I don't like this movement. Of course, you can change the movement if there is any physical pain. But if it is just a mental feeling that I don't even want to move, because here we're not looking for complete stillness, right? So even that kind of thing that I don't even want to move, that is a something to become aware of. And you just become aware and then just let it go. No need to analyze it, no need to keep thinking about it, and no need to work more on the commentary. Stay with the support here, which is the physical moment. And now you can try the same with the fingers movement. Moving the fingers, either all the 4 fingers towards you and back, or just one finger also, whatever is comfortable. So for this, you have to turn the palms facing you upward on the lap, then it's easier. So as the finger moves in, as it moves out, as it comes in, try to just become aware, not just from that level of normal awareness that everybody has. That is not enough here. We have to become aware from that state of that judging mind, that evaluating mind, that mind which says that this is good, this is bad. From that state of mind, we become aware. And if that judgment becomes too much, then we bring in that knowledge of Vedanta, that wisdom, that all this is passing, and this is not, even that judging mind is not the true nature of myself. So this is how we can stabilize in this Vipassana, using that Vedantic wisdom, or even that Vipassana wisdom is similar, that you use that wisdom. But here, important thing is, the main practice is being aware from that evaluating mind, that mind which is saying this is good, this is bad. Not just this, as you keep doing this, the mind will have other thoughts that will come, that other commentary, and that also you become aware. You can shift for a while again to moving of the body if you want. Whichever one now you can choose. Once having tried that, which one is better for you, you can try. The idea is, here we are not looking for that stillness and calmness. Here, for this practice, we are looking for that kind of mindful awareness. Okay, so now this next step in the practice, we will do it the next session.